Okay, so we are here with Normandy Equine, Elizabeth Van Ross, and PerformingHorse.com, and we are starting our Facebook Live series shortly here. So this is a little preview and just a little explanation of what we're going to do and an introduction to what it is. But biohacking for horses and biomechanics in the horse is and what Liz does and how we can help you. So, Liz, tell me a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Uh, okay, well, as we record here, we should say that you're in Kentucky in the United States, and I'm in Normandy in France, which is why we call Normandy Equine. And my background has been competition when I was very young, but sort of soon changed into wanting to research a little bit more about how horses work, how humans work, and why there's trouble sometimes in paradise between the horse and the rider. So I launched myself on that path about 30-ish years ago. And I've been studying ever since. So study, and lots of research, culminating with 7 years at a very large equine hospital in England called the Liphook Equine Hospital. That is a fabulous place with amazing vets. And I think I probably learned more in those 7 years than in all of the other years combined. So took all of that knowledge and came to France and opened a business here where I've been actually quietly writing my books and traveling the world and finding out a little bit more, because there's always more to learn. And now finally sort of ready to, working with you, Monique, kind of launch into the world of horses with some of these amazing ideas that really, truly do help.
Perfect. So, a little bit about me. I come from a completely different corner. I have been an avid student of self-development and student of success, as well as Liz, and that's where we met. And I have, as a teenager, I took care of a few horses. Basically, they were my horses without ownership. But I took care of them. I rode them every day, learned to ride in the dunes, and never really had an official education with horses until I was 40, where we moved into an area in California where we could have our own horses, and our backdoor neighbor was this amazing dressage rider and trainer, and did several clinics with Swedish people. And anyways, it was quite different until I learned from Liz. I thought I was doing a really great job, and we were. I was my of course, when you have a teenage daughter, all the riding goes to the daughter. So she is more versed in riding than I am at the moment. But learning from Liz about biomechanics in the horse really changed our thinking, changed our life. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about right now, and what our lives, our series of Facebook Lives is going to be about as well. So that said, Liz, we see so many trainers at the moment on the internet talking about biomechanics in the horse. And of course, they're putting a lot of effort into their learning. They study everywhere. But is that knowledge, that new knowledge that they are acquiring and trying to pass on, is that really easily transferable into the development and or rehabilitation of the horse? And can the layperson or the dressage rider or the jumper really apply that and have success the way they bring it?
Well, that's a very loaded and really great question. Biomechanics is a very interesting field. It's one that will never ever be finished being studied, because there's just so much to it. I've been doing this now, as I said, for over 30 years, in both the human and the horse. But what I have found, and what is really exciting, is to see that people are kind of changing their ideas, and that there are a lot of trainers that are now taking a very big interest in how horses function and how humans function and how the two function together. But there's still a huge amount of traditional training that is impeding upon that, because the riders need to change not just their knowledge, but also how they're going to apply that knowledge to the horse. So I like to use cars as a non-emotional or emotive producing analogy. And just because you can drive a car, or just because you've opened a few books like I have and started to learn a little bit about, what the engine is and what it does and how it works and what you need, how it changes fuel into energy and all the rest of it, means that I've got a certain amount of knowledge. I can even open the hood of a car and I can point out little bits and pieces to you, and I know where to put the oil and I know where to put the windshield wiper fluid and all these wonderful things. But it doesn't make me a mechanic. It means that I know certain things. I can have a bit of a chat with a mechanic, or even somebody else that likes cars and is interested in them. But you would not want to find me under the hood of your car if it was broken and needed repair. And I'm seeing a lot of that in the horse world, that there's a lot of people who have very good knowledge, really good knowledge. You can sit down and have a very in-depth, lovely conversation with them about biomechanics, and then they take you to the stable and they pull out their horse, and it's always a disappointment to me, because the horse should come out in a harmonious, lovely, muscular display of perfection, and it comes out with a heavy underneck and an undeveloped back and an overdeveloped hamstrings, and etc. etc. So there is still a big gap between the knowledge that we're acquiring about biomechanics and behavior of the horse, and actually being able to apply that knowledge to the development of horses. And also a big gap between making it understandable to the rider, and then how to teach the rider to teach it to a different species altogether, which of course is the horse. So I still see some very huge, very big holes, which is a lot of the horses that were brought to me at the hospital were suffering from that. They were suffering from that big gap in knowledge, in how to transfer the knowledge into something practical. And that is what we're going to be bringing you, is the beginnings of what it is to actually transfer science into application that will be easy for the person who just wants to go hacking, or the person who really has their desires set on high level competition. I mean, I do help everybody from young riders all the way up to quite accomplished high level riders. It's just changing their ideas and establishing new habits, and it's amazing what the horse is. Amazing. Yeah.
So the Facebook Lives, what I gather, we are going to talk, we're going to give value. We're going to bring value to the individual rider, to the trainer. Every Facebook Live, Liz especially will give a nugget of knowledge that you can take back to the barn and apply. Just little pieces of information, and ultimately we will culminate into putting together a course, an online course probably, that will be live as well, that you can sign up for. But for now, really what we want to do is raise awareness, that there is a different way, right? That there is a different way of training horses, and we want to change that paradigm in most people. So what is a paradigm, Liz?
Yes, absolutely.
So
Well, a paradigm is a belief, and a belief is just an idea. Sorry?
yeah, how do we want to go about changing people's paradigm? Because paradigm is really a group of beliefs, right? It's a whole set of beliefs and habits.
Habits are ideas that we just revisit over and over and over and over again. They're like little stories that we tell ourselves because we heard them as youngsters, or because we've read them in a book, or because we discovered something and thought, oh, this might be a good thing, and then we've tried it and we've done it over and over and over and over again. And sometimes it's literally just subconscious. It's the way that our body reacts to the stimulus that is the horse. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, our natural instincts tend to lead us down the wrong path, and we end up more in conflict than in harmony. And riding is meant to be fun. It's meant to be easy. Horses, if you're struggling to ride and you're not really enjoying it, then something has gone wrong. Your horse should enjoy it. Your horse should be pleased to see you, not hiding in the back of the stable hoping you'll just go away. Horses shouldn't be in pain all the time. Back pain is not normal. Leg pain is not normal. Swelling is not normal. None of those things are normal, and not in the horse or the rider. If you've got back pain, if you've got hip pain, if you've got shoulder pain because of your riding, then something is terribly, terribly wrong, because you should be really in harmony and just having a lot of fun with your horse. And that will come if you understand how you function physically and mentally, and how your horse functions physically and mentally. And that is what we are planning to share with you and bring to you. So.
Wonderful. We will make some posts about when we're going to start, but it's within this. I was hoping to start maybe this week with our Facebook Live.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we'll be here at least 2 times a week. That's the plan. So life happens, and we have a barn. We have horses in the barn. But the plan is to be here live twice a week and give you some nuggets from Normandy. Nuggets from Normandy. That's a good one. Wonderful.
All right. Well, listen, hope to see all of you very soon. And Monique, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you guys soon.